Oh? Oh? On a personal note, I must say you've surprised me, my Far Eastern friend. Ah, oh! Despite being a Japanese, you saw through the pretense to the malice that festered within that Englishman. At the same time, saw through the grime to the surprising heart of your English client. You have a curious talent for judging character, especially considering our very different cultures. I don't think there's anything curious about it. Whether we're from the Empire of Great Britain or the Empire of Japan, we're all human beings. We're not so very different on the inside. You know, I took this case for one very simple reason. To lock swords with you once again here in the courtroom. You did? When I encountered you for the first time 2 months ago, it reminded me of toasting friendship and trust with another Japanese, to only find my trust betrayed. Through you, I hope to look into the eyes of the man I once knew, and try to understand. Oh no! He knows Kazuma! I mentioned something similar earlier today, about total betrayal at the hands of the Japanese. What happened exactly? Well, you may ask, and one day, when the time comes, you will learn the answer, whether you like it or not. Oh no, he was Kazuma's friend too. Alright, I'll wait for that day if I must. I'm sorry, he died on the boat. Coming to be known as the Reaper of the Bailey, and my retirement from service 5 years ago, gives me cause to wonder if our meeting has some deeper purpose. So, farewell, my learned Japanese fellow, until we meet again. Bye, Van Zeeks. Please don't hold a grudge against me that I'm here instead of Kazuma. Please. Oh, it's done. It's over at last. But where's Iris disappeared to? Ah. Congratulations, Gina. I knew it all along. I knew you were innocent. Oh, you did what you said, Mr. Naruto. You believed in me right up to the end. You're as odd as your name. What's odd about it? Told you I had faith in you, didn't I? Oh, I never asked before, see? Kept the promise, I mean, properly. That's awful. Figured something out today. I mean life, growing up in the slums, I never trusted no one. That's just because I've been scared of being stabbed in the back. I mean, the more you trust someone, the more it hurts when they let you down. Yes, I think I can understand that. After all, I had a taste of it in that trial 2 months ago. Chose to trust someone, and then paid for it. Betrayal left a big scar. No though, Gina, I worked something out quite recently too. Trusting in someone else is really an exercise in learning to trust yourself. When your gut tells you it's the right thing to do, your trust is rewarded. There's no better feeling in the world. I have you to thank for reminding me of that valuable lesson. Oh, well, if you say so. It'll make a fat lot of sense to me, though. What I'm trying to say is that putting my faith in you, Gina, has been a real pleasure. Crying out loud, pack it in! I suppose, sort of feel the same way. I mean, sometimes trust in someone else is, you know, alright. Thanks. This is the way I see it, Ryunosuke. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. After this experience, I'm starting to feel like I understand what you mean, Kazuma. Am I living up to your expectations? Am I turning out to be the lawyer you believed I could be? Pardon the interruption. What the deuce does a man have to do to be noticed around here, my dear fellow? Ah, that voice! It's too late for that voice now, Mr. Naruhodo. I've been standing here patiently in the corner of the room for an eternity! Ah ha ha! Yes, it was me all along! I would have said when you finally noticed me. But you people, with your incessant babbling! Mr. Sholmes! Ah ha ha! Yes, it was me all along, you see? Where'd Iris go? I'd assume you've been taken back to the hospital, to be honest. Indeed, I was, but I managed to escape again. Oh. Happened to be aware of one or two foibles of the doctor who was tending me. I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he happily issued me with a leave of absence. How very above board. Enough of my adventures. That was a fine victory, Mr. Naruhodo. Your tireless efforts justly rewarded, I feel. Congratulations, Arnoda. As a close friend, I tip my hat at you. Thank you. Some great detective you are. Great at being cold as ice, maybe. Have I irked you in some way, Miss Lestrade? Having a snooze in your nice soft bed, some of us have been fighting for our lives. Ah, well, that bullet did cause me to lose a substantial amount of blood, it's true. I've indeed been feeling somewhat cold. Not perhaps cold as ice, but, well, have a feel. Could you take your hands off my neck, please, Mr. Sholmes? And, in some way, I suppose, congratulations are in order for you too, Miss Lestrade. What's that supposed to mean? Why so half-hearted? Actually, it isn't my intention to alarm you, but my acquittal in the trial of that particular prosecutor is perhaps a little precarious. Well done, Mr. Sholmes. Not alarming in the slightest. Oh, the Reaper, you mean? Anyone who's found not guilty in a trial he was working on winds up dead anyway? Is that it? Very point I was trying to make. Exemplified by the fate of Mr. McGilded, in fact. Ah, but of course, I pay no attention to such irrational drill myself. Yeah, well, it don't bother me. Oh, really? Of course not. The way I see it, the Reaper's a bit like him upstairs. Him upstairs? You mean like God? Yeah, him upstairs knows what's what, right? He knows what people are like on the inside. You won't have got the wrong end of the stick. Some covies like that bog trotter who are rotten to the core. At the end of the day, him upstairs makes sure they get what they deserve. I suppose that's one way of looking at it. Fine justice is one thing, though. The Reaper taking matters into his own hands and claiming lives is another. They're like the McGildeds of this world. So I ain't scared. I got principles, see? Trait in you which is to be admired, Miss Lestrade. Oi, just give it a rest, alright? As I was saying, congratulations, Arnold. News of your acquittal was very welcome news to me indeed. Let me express my heartfelt congratulations, Gina. Well, there you are. Hurley, how long have you been there? Honestly, I went to the main entrance especially to meet you there. Ah, Iris, my dear. I do apologize, but wait until I tell you what happened. This pair made utter fools of themselves. What happened? As you know, I have a penchant for disguise. I was hiding in this room just as a bailiff. These dolts didn't notice my presence at all. They had no idea. Can you imagine, Iris? Would you credit it? I'm not sure, really. I beg your pardon? Sorry, Hurley, but you just don't have the weighty presence you seem to think you have. In fact, you really ought to be careful about that. It's going to land you in trouble one day. Be careful. Ouch. Anyway, it's such a shame. I was hoping to throw a party for Ginny tonight, but you won't be able to come, will you? Don't look like I'm going to be going nowhere for a while. You heard the judge's patter. I got stuff to make amends for, apparently. All them offenses. What was again? Breaking and entering, taking the bog trotter stuff, what a lug, blah blah blah. Yeah, you'll find that basically being a pickpocket is the main offense. Not even an offense, it's a job, isn't it? No! Still, it has got me thinking on this. Maybe I should start looking for another line of work. Yeah! You didn't start off as a lawyer, did you? No, but I was never a pickpocket. What was I before I was a lawyer? Anyway, I reckon I can make a change. Or do something for a lot of them. Like from the slums, something that makes a difference for them. It's a wonderful idea, Ginny. I'm sure you can do it. What is it? Nothing. Stream to Lestrade. Prison carriage has arrived, ma'am. Please come with me to the rear gate at once. Right. Well, looks like I'm off then. Yes. Goodbye, Gina. And good luck. Odo? Yes? Uh-oh. She's gonna shoot me. Ah! What was that for? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say, so... Ah, indeed. Perhaps the situation calls for a phrase hitherto missing from your vocabulary, Miss Lestrade. Occasions such as this, I'd recommend a simple thank you. Oh. Oh, yes. It's good advice, Ginny. Right. I see. Well... Thanks, Odo. Thank you forever in what you've done, for believing in me. Not at all. In fact, that should be my line. Thank you, Gina. What next? Well, there she goes. Wonder if I'll ever see her again. Well, quite the indomitable pick purse. Oh, I nearly forgot. I bought a paper outside. Special edition is trials all over the front page. Pickpocket's innocence proven. Isn't it wonderful? Should have shown it to Gina, Iris. She would have been thrilled. Oh no, how silly of me. Ah, but anyway. Do you like the good news or the bad? Oh, is it about the weather? Not this again. The rain finally stopped. What's the bad news? Huge storm left the seas very choppy. The channel in particular is awful, so sailings out of Dover have been delayed by a day or more. Wait, Dover? That's right. Get to the station immediately. May still make it in time to wave Susie off. But, there won't be a train, surely. Couldn't be that lucky. Who do you think I am? Mr. Sholmes? Rushed to Victoria Station early and made arrangements for a special express. Hurry now, we shall be there in time for dinner. A fine restaurant that serves the most delicious baked sole. The great detective does it again! Happen to be aware of a number of rail transport directors' foibles. Made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he happily laid on the locomotive. So you're blackmailing people. Oh boy. Well, we get to see Susato again before the chapter ends, so that's good. So much longer than I had anticipated. Susie's boat must be about to leave now. Susato, where are you? Oh. She's reading.
Hold it!
Don't throw the book into the ocean! What even is that book? Sholmes gave us a train. Came as soon as we could after the trial. We heard that sailings were being delayed due to the bad weather. Oh, I see. Then tell me, how did the trial go? Went well, she was acquitted. That's wonderful. Really wonderful news. Book you're about to throw into the sea. It's your Encyclopedia of British Law, wasn't it? Oh dear, I was hoping you hadn't seen that. Not worthy of practicing law in any way now, so I'm saying my final farewell. Saying goodbye to law. You? Susato-san? Would be correct in assuming. It's because of the peephole, Miss Susato. I deliberately altered the scene of a crime, and then I tried to hide the fact. What I did is utterly unforgivable. That reminds me. How did you even come to have this, Susie? The evening of the incident, Mr. Sholmes had invited Gina to dinner, if you remember. Yes, we had a wonderful time. Well, Gina gave us a little introductory lesson, didn't she? The art of pickpocketing. Oh, that was so much fun. I stole Runo's armband. Yes, please don't do that again. Japan's very important to me. It's so important, you should pay more attention to it. You didn't notice for ages. Whim, I thought it would be fun to see if I could take the cat flapomat, I put it up my sleeve. And I rather forgot about it until I found myself in Mr. Windibake's shop with it later that night. And then... bang! Ah! Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes! Leave me, Mr. Naruhodo. After Mr. Naruhodo had left the shop, I started to think. The door started to play on my mind. The storeroom door, you mean? Yes, if Gina was anywhere in the shop, I realized it could only be behind that door. At that moment, the little device I had up my sleeve sprang to mind. I was worried about Gina. Simply had to know. So you used the cat flipomat to make the peephole in the door. Captured in the photographic print of the shop. One of Hurley's red-handed recorders. Indeed, it's one of there's of first importance, that point. Precisely when the peephole was made, that information would prove to be Mr. Naruhodo's greatest weapon. Though naturally, without proof, it would have amounted to nothing. I looked through the hole in the door. The sight that met my eyes made my blood run cold. Thoughts started to run through my mind. I remembered that trial 2 months earlier, trial of Magnus McGilden. Thought about how he had manipulated the evidence and arranged for false testimony to secure his freedom. It made the British justice system feel very dark and sinister to me. And then a terrible thought occurred to me. What if some wicked criminal was planning to do the same thing now? Sure, the next appearance of the crime scene would look as though Gina had shot Mr. Windibank. And I was sure she would never have done such a thing. You were worried that the true culprit would try to frame her for the crime? That's right, but then I realized. It would be very difficult for anyone to give false testimony in this case. What do you mean? Well, the crime appeared to have been behind a cloaked door of a locked room for someone to claim falsely to have witnessed it. There would have to be a way to see beyond the door. For which, a peephole would be the very thing. The peephole I had made wasn't actually there until after the crime had been committed, of course. The criminal would know that, so it wouldn't make any difference. The possibility of a rather ingenious trap was there, was it not? A trap? Is that why she did it? So is that why you kept it a secret, Susie? Never mentioned that you made the peephole to anyone, not even to the police. I know, and I knew at the time what I was doing was wrong, a criminal offense even, so I decided to confide in Mr. Sholmes. Mr. Naruhodo was completely backed into a corner with no other possible means of escape. Truth about the peephole could save him. That was my plan. She really does think of everything. But then, why didn't you just tell me everything before the trial began? My dear fellow, you're not thinking straight. If she had done that, it would have rendered you complicit in the whole escapade. You could have been disbarred if you had been seen to have knowingly tampered with a crime scene, so Miss Susato decided to shoulder the burden of responsibility alone, for your sake and Miss Lestrade's. Miss Susato. Truth truth is, when it happened, I did it because I'd lost a little of my faith in the law. Oh. I was worried that the right person wouldn't be convicted of the crime. The moment I allowed myself to think that is the moment I lost my right to call myself a judicial assistant. What you did isn't comparable to what he did. Graydon is the one who lied in the witness stand, using the people as a way to implicate Gina. And besides, if the people inconsistency hadn't existed, I'm not at all sure she would have been acquitted in the end. Mrs. Sato, what you did saved Gina's life. Oh, with your kind words, Mr. Naruhodo. You've saved me, too, from my regrets. Yay! Well, we must all be thankful that Miss Lestrade's freedom has been assured. Yes, exactly. While some of the loose ends in that trial will continue to play on my mind, or should. Yeah, the secret messages. Thank you, thank you. Majority of the sounds on the disc were meaningless tones. Written in cipher to avoid being readily understood. Cipher? Nonsense, my dear fellow. It's quite a zero pipeline problem, I assure you. Eh? So... Asogi? What? Well, that can't be a real word, can it? How funny. Wait, Iris, what did you just say? Asogi? How? I wrote it down during the trial when the message was playing on the music box. She transcribed it on the fly? Japanese Morse code? Are we going back to Japan? Iroha pentagram. Yes! Holy crap, I wasn't expecting more stuff to happen in this case. I thought we were done. Please translate it. What can this possibly mean? No doubt that this message is written in Japanese Morse code. Four people's names. Kazuma! Hey, Shin. T. Gregson. Gregson? R. Naruhodo. J. Wilson. John H. Wilson. That is all four? Huh? What's going on here? But who's Asian? Oh. Oh. It's funny because it sounds like Asian. No, it's not very likely, really, is it? There are thousands of people with the surname Wilson. There must be lots of J's among them. Mr. John H. Wilson, visiting professor of medicine at the university. We can't tell Iris about that now. We just can't. So strange. Somehow, in solving the case of Mr. Winbank's murder today, I feel like I've rolled back a boulder at the mouth of a very dark cave. I do wonder if perhaps it's a dark cave we shouldn't go wandering inside. Well, Susato, looks like you have to go home. Do you really have to go? Can't you stay here? Wish you a safe passage, Miss Susato. Thank you so much. I wish all of you the very best. Please come back soon. As far as I'm concerned, you really are the very best judicial assistant in the world. Yay, she's gonna come back. Yeah, the promise. About the manuscript. Oh, the first time we met, she saved us from the trial. Perfect person to continue Kazuma's great legacy. Her instincts were right. You want to believe. No. I'm sure that. I'll be back soon. Farewell until then. Bye, Susato. I'll miss you. Is this the last case in the game? I can't tell. It's got the feeling that it could be, but also the feeling that there's something extra that's going to happen in surprise case 6.
Somehow we seem to have come to the end of the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Or the first volume, at least.
Okay. Thank you for answering my question, Sholmes.
Looking back now, it feels as though fate has led me on this journey. Fate led me to becoming a lawyer, to traveling halfway around the world,
Oh, that's
to
me
meeting
talking.
the great detective. I'm sure there'll be trials and tribulations ahead. Of course there will. But whatever happens, I know I'll be able to turn my fortunes around.
He brought his violin!
After all,
Is it the salt water gonna damage it?
I have the greatest friends in the world on my side.
How beautiful. But damn, that note is confusing and worrying. How do you end a game like that without a... Schultz? Ah, yes, Mr. Naruhodo. I have some rather awkward news. Railway company has decided to sue over a special express train. God damn it! Caused such a commotion on the lines, all the other trains had to wait at stations. But really, we would never have made it to Dover in time otherwise. Anyway, I explained everything. That was all your fault. What? Oh yeah, I gotta object. Not to worry, my dear fellow. According to Miss Susato... not an Ace Attorney game if we don't do this at the end, right before the credits.
Objection!
Yay! He said the thing! Now show us all the other objectors. Oh. No other objections? Following weeks, hundreds of music boxes are up. Yep, because he ordered a bajillion and a half music boxes. How did you forget about that? Used by Mr. Sholmes to solve an important case. The money I've earned. Consulting detective work pays pittance by comparison. Hello, Iris. Haven't slept a wink. Manuscript is due tomorrow. Uh-oh. Really usually cooks me breakfast. Cooks is an overstatement. Some dry toast and insipid coffee. I knew we'd miss Susato. Ouchie! Hey, these two! Curio Collector, yes or no, sir? Ah, the Japanese judge. Hosonaga! Huh. Soseki met Hosonaga. Oh my god, you brought kittens on board the ship? Where's Biff? Strongheart, I still don't trust you. Good old Garradeb. You're gonna become a maid? Ha! He's his own maid. Ah, the lovebirds. Boo! Get off the screen! Ginny's still locked up. Graydon! The Three Musket Watsits. Oh no, they're gonna do crime once they're out. The past 6 months has been a time I shall remember forevermore. Painful goodbyes and wonderful encounters. Come to realize stuff. Frodo, I promise. Your assistant will return to you one day. But for now, I leave you with many memories. A heartfelt wish that life will treat you well. And maybe in the next game we'll figure out what the hell that written note was and why Kazuma and Wilson are on there along with Gregson. Because 2 of them are dead, 1 of them we don't know, and 1 of them's Gregson, who I don't know if we can trust anymore. What a beautiful picture. It's all of us and Wag. Wag is trying to steal my hat. Alright, that's pretty good. I'm looking forward to doing the next one. Either next time or in the eventual future. There's more credits? Alright, I'll let this early bit of voice actors show, but I'm gonna need to hop off. It's been 5.5 hours of streaming. I need to go do other stuff. Oh, the narrator's got his own name. Okay, that seems to be all of the... That's just going to be everyone saying hello and such. Alright, I'll pause it here, and I'll watch the rest of it when I get back. Thank you all for coming out and watching. Next time, there's a good chance we'll move on to the second game and hopefully figure out some of the mysteries that are still lingering, such as that note involving several people we know about, 2 of whom are dead. Thank you all for watching. We will do Great Ace Attorney number 2 sometime in the future. Goodbye.